Welcome back. It is our favorite day of the week. Our friends from Final Victory Animal Rescue back here in studio for this week's edition of Primetime Pups. We've got a couple little guests here for you.
We do. Mine kind of blends in with my skirt, but I promise you I have a little pup here. Michael Sneesick joining us with two pups today, Salami and Bologna. Iconic names. I think I have Salami.
Yeah, my Bologna is a first name.
Yep.
It's D-O-G-G-Y. He's looking good.
Oh my goodness, they're so cute. So tell us a little bit about these.
Yeah,
ones.
so they are awesome. We have 6 of them total. They are our deli meat litter, so we have a couple more. Mom came to us from one of our local shelters, and she was kind of feral, and the puppies, animal control brought them in. One of them tested positive for parvo. We were talking about, a positive parvo test does not always mean that for parvo positive. So we were able to take them in, quarantine them, and nobody tested positive, and they were all great. And now it's time to get the puppies adopted and work with mom a little bit.
Okay, well, these dogs are just awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect lap dogs for now, but they will grow.
It is post dinner nap time. They got to
Yes,
take their
indeed.
nap, and then we're going to go be a little bit rambunctious for a bit.
Got it. And so far so good with these dogs, playful. And
Oh yeah. They love to wrestle with each other. She is definitely a little bit more vocal when they play.
Okay.
But they are definitely in that eat, sleep, poop, play, puppy phase. That's really, it's just repeat. That's what they do. And right now they're in that sleep phase.
Okay, so for people who are adopting a puppy, kind of what are some things that you need to know? It's a commitment because you go through kind of a different path with them. So what do they need to know?
So there's a couple things we always like to touch with our puppy adopters. First off, puppyhood's easy. It's the teenage phase that gets tough, when that dog kind of gets rambunctious, if we're kind of in that rebellious teenage phase. A routine is the biggest thing you can do, getting your dog on a routine, setting them up so that they are doing the same thing every day. They're learning the same thing every day. And training never starts too young. You can start right away with, just going out to go potty, using the same, words, names, whatever you want to call, your different commands, using those over and over again. But it's honestly just the consistency. And puppies are easy once you get that aspect of it. A lot of people, you see Marley and me and you think of the terrible teens. You get that, but honestly, puppies are easy.
Yeah, and it's just like giving them the time and dedication and really pouring into them.
Yeah, and it's honestly a lot like having a child. You just need to take them, socialize them, get them trained. Get them just used to the world, and then you have a great dog.
Yeah. And you can tell. I mean, look at just how pretty they are. They definitely are two dudes that are going to probably. Do you think might do best together, or like if you were to adopt both of them?
Yeah,
brothers.
So that is actually something people ask quite often is if you actually adopt together. It's honestly more detrimental to the dogs to adopt together. So there's littermate syndrome, which is where the dogs either bond on so much to each other that they do not care about the human, or they get into more so aggressive tendencies towards each other. So we actually do not adopt out littermates together. We recommend at least a 6-month age gap in between. Of course, adopting 2 dogs is always a great, you can always have an 8-month-old and a puppy or something like that, but we always recommend having enough time if the dogs can learn to be social by themselves without having a sibling to be on with.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
It absolutely is. I feel like I've started to see that conversation happen a bit more, but I never knew that growing up. Because you're like, oh, you just go ahead and get a best friend, but that really is important to know. So I know we were talking a little bit about puppies and the work for them, but who would you say would be the ideal family for these little girls and guys?
Honestly, right now, these guys can be molded into any sort of household. So whether you have kids, whether you're in an apartment, whether you're, active, laid back, whatever you want, they're puppies, so you can really train them. Of course, you want to look at your breed history, so you want to see, if we know what breed they are, what that breed history might be, if it's a more active dog or a more sedentary dog. But with these guys kind of being on that more mixed, muddy side, they can really fit in anywhere. And as long as you do your proper socialization, you're going to have a great dog.
Yeah, you can tell. These are going to be some fantastic dogs. Only 9 weeks old, and definitely playful. They are in training, so you got to be up for that, like you say. But ultimately, they could become your very best friends.
Yeah, do we know roughly how big we think they'll get?
So mom is kind of in that 40, 50-ish pound range. Of course, we don't know who dad is. So over the next couple weeks as they grow, we'll see a little bit of a better idea of how large they're going to get. But right now, we can kind of put them at that good medium size.
I mean, they're just the perfect lap pup right now. It's like holding a baked potato, like in just their little puppy bellies too. I am in love with these little ones. And you said there's 6 in the litter total?
Yes, there's 6 of our deli meats total.
Okay.
Beautiful brindle color too on
Yeah.
this dog.
And the best part is they're all different in the litter. You know, none of them look the same. They're all kind of a little smorgasbord of meats.
Is that common, or is that kind of, you never know?
You really never know, and that's the fun part with puppies. You know, you don't know if it's going to be all that look the same or if they're all going to be a little bit of variety, and we love getting a variety.
Yes, it got a little assortment over there.
Slice of life.
Yeah.
Over at Final Victory. Yes, and of course, tons of dogs over there. Lots of pets to choose from.
Yep,
Yeah, so
always.
I think we can put those details up on your screen right now. You can go find your deli meat that you want to take home. But as always, the number, the website, as well as their address. Michael, as always, thank you so much for being here with these 2 little sleepy pups.
Of course, I don't think you can leave that one.
I know. This one, I'm staying right here the rest of the night.
Yeah, look, he's already asleep.
Oh, goodness. We'll be right back.
We're so cute. I could eat you. You're so precious.